The general theme is how does it feel to be a hypocrite?
Right. Well, he sounds like a royal dirtbag.
I was wrong about something.
Magnificent! Magnificent! Magnificent!
If we can be with ourselves, if we can understand ourselves, we can love.
It's not my fault nobody can understand what you're saying.
Let's go while we're young.
3, 2, 1. Just introduce yourself and tell me what you ate for breakfast.
Hey, I'm Matt. I haven't had breakfast yet. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Hair. Okay, so here's the thing today. We're gonna, during the live show right now, it's 6:30 a.m. Central Time in the United States is where I'm at. And if you, in the comments, wherever you're watching this during the live show, in the comments, write out hashtag shiny. That's all that you need to do. Hashtag shiny. We're going to experiment with this. I've tested it, but I don't have a way to actually figure out if it works unless we dive in and we go for it. And that's what this show is about. It's just really diving in. It's not about it just actually perfectly polished podcast. That just reminded me of 5 years ago, plus actually more than that now, I suppose almost 6 years ago. I started the process of podcasting, and I had this tag on there that, this isn't a perfectly polished podcast. And that's what I think is so important in life, is that we don't need to try to always be polished. We can be, professional and do our best and so on, but we don't have to be perfect and polished. Competent for sure, but not overconfident, I guess. But anyway, excuse me. So hashtag shiny. I don't know how many people are going to be able to participate in this morning, because this is, the first time we're giving it a try. So I appreciate anybody that can do that, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, on X or whatever you want to call it. And just hashtag shiny in the comments. That will enter you to this drawing, this random drawing on the computer system that we'll then figure out a little bit later. I am going to be giving away some coffee, one of these bags of whole bean and a tumbler. And I don't know where I set the tumbler. It's out of my reach where I'm at right now. So there it is. But make sure hashtag shiny in the comments. That will enter you to win. It's got to be during the live broadcast. If you're watching this after the live broadcast, it's not going to work for you. Meddling. People often are I'm just trying to be helpful. And so, it just sort of got me into this thought process about some things. And I shared about this quote. It was a bit too late to repair the damage, but Harry swore to himself not to meddle in things that weren't his business from now on. J.K. Rowling wrote that, and I believe it was chapter 15 of the first Harry Potter book. But look at that first sentence there, or partial. It was a bit too late to repair the damage. Yeah, that's pretty powerful, isn't it? But then Harry swore to himself not to meddle in things that weren't his business from now on. It's pretty easy to get involved in things that aren't our business. But it's pretty important to know what that really is and what that looks like, and not to delude ourselves on what meddling is. So meddling is basically, when someone is interfering with your business, right? Like they're trying to do things in unwanted ways to be counterproductive to what you want to accomplish. And we're going to talk about what kind of the process is a little bit too, about what the difference is. Are they trying to be helpful, or are they trying to really meddle and just be counterproductive to you and what you're trying to do? And, meddling, it can kind of take a lot of different forms. And it's often unsolicited. If it's unsolicited, it is definitely meddling. If they're questioning your decisions unsolicited, that would also be what meddling is, and things along those lines. But we also want to be careful to make sure we don't want to push away helpful people, right? So we want to know and look at and pay attention to whether it's helpful or whether it's meddling. What's their involvement? Like, how deep are they going? Is it welcomed or welcomed? Are they asking your permission to give you advice or not? Does it feel intrusive, where they're just digging into things that it shouldn't be? Hey, again, hashtag shiny. Put in hashtag shiny, please. I'm going to give it a try here on on the system, just as an example. I don't know if it's going to make me eligible or not, but hashtag shiny here, and we need to get that in there so we can see if this system is going to work. I'm showing about 30 people watching, so hey, hashtag shiny, and we're going to do some giveaways here. So please consider doing that. I just for the sake of testing it. Anyway, so helpful versus intrusive versus what it is and meddling and what their involvement is. And so what we need to do first is to identify those things, and to deal with those things is recognize, like, I put a note is to recognize their actions, observe what the situation is. So what's your situation? And then observe what their actions are, essentially, is what I'm saying. So, we can be in different situations. And so when somebody wants to stop us from, being harmful in an emergency or whatever, maybe we need to get more involved. And so that's what we're talking about. We really have to consciously step back and look at it, whether or not it is something that is they're having a belittling attitude towards you, or whether they're doing, anything along the lines of to honestly help you get out of that jam that maybe you're in, that's maybe an emergency. I'll break here a second. Again, hashtag shiny. Thanks to those of you who have given it a shot. Take a break here for 1 second and just say, I really appreciate all your messages. I'm very, very grateful for that. I hope I've gotten back to everybody's messages. Juggling a lot of things and trying to do this and develop this. And, there's a lot of what I've called infrastructure, meaning I have to build website things that are going on, design different, products like this shirt that I have on, and develop certain things and test them and write different ideas and notes and organize the different notes I've had for years and all those things. So there's just so many things in the background that are involved in this. And so it's really interesting to balance, of course. So I appreciate all of your messages. I hope I've been able to answer everybody back and things like that. So I do greatly appreciate that. So one of the things about examining yourself here is whether you're kind of worried about your reputation or whatever, if that's a way to identify if you're taking this as somebody meddling or not, and how to deal with that. I hope that this makes sense, because there's also deeper dives that have been requested. It's not the place to do it on the morning show, but I am working on doing some deeper dives on the other podcasts that I am developing. So anyway, but let me word it like this. So one of the ways to examine on whether or not you're worried about your reputation is do you feel like maybe they're belittling you as a human? Maybe they're making you feel like you're not a competent adult, right? And that can be done in a lot of different ways. And so is someone meddling? One way to identify whether someone's trying to be helpful or meddling is, are you worried about how somebody sees you when this person is talking? Or is it something that you're able to just let go of and step outside of yourself and say, hey, yeah, okay, they're trying to be helpful here. I'm not worried about how I look to other people, but because meddling definitely, I think it goes off in our brains pretty automatically that there's a threat that's going on, versus someone trying to be helpful. I think we can identify that by some of those things. Is this a threat to us? I need to finish up here. We're going real late, and we need to attempt this drawing. So, and so, another thing here is we need to take a look at some of the basics for the meddling, right? It's like I said, it's easy to become defensive and things like that, but are they trying to take away your sovereignty or your agency, maybe as an adult? Does it, or are they trying to be more of a commonality thing? They're trying to identify and empathize with you, and things along those lines is another good way to identify and kind of deal with someone that's kind of where you feel they're being intrusive or not. Just kind of, are they trying to take away your agency, your sovereignty as a human, as an adult human? Or is it something that they're, really trying to be helpful with? I think that's super important. So, hey, last chance, real quick, #shiny, and then we're going to give this whole thing a shot. Like I said, thanks for bearing with me. I've tested this, but you can't do anything. Thanks for the happy Monday comment. Quickly, #shiny that you just sent just a second ago, if you're there yet. #shiny. There we go. Let's give this a shot here. We're gonna I hope you can still hear me. I have to, well, interesting. I don't know why this didn't share. Are you still there? Someone give me a comment. Are you still there? It should have shared to the screen. Okay. So I do have a winner, but let me see if I can get this. Shared. I don't know why it's not sharing here. Sorry. See, again, this is why we have to do these darn tests. It is interesting. It says it's sharing, but it's not, obviously. Y'all can see that it's not. Let me try this. See if we can get this screen to share now so I can show you. So maybe it is not sharing because I don't know. Silly stuff. Let's try that. Nope, that didn't work. Well, everybody, there's a tab here that says having issues, and I would have to say that clearly I have issues. Or wait, is it me? Probably. It says it's showing, but on my screen it is not up there. Let's Let's try something else. Hey, thanks for bearing with me here. This is fun, isn't it? Probably start, if I was a nervous person, I would probably start sweating profusely here. And gosh, you guys. Well, I'm going to reach out to the winner. I'm so sorry. I don't know what is going on here, but I'm going to reach out to the winner here. Thanks for bearing with me, and I will see you tomorrow morning at 6:30. We'll do a giveaway again tomorrow morning at 6:30 again as well, and hopefully I can have this figured out. I'm going to send in a thing that says, I'm having issues, but apparently the share button to the page is not working for some reason. It tested out fine, but all right, we'll see you tomorrow morning.
You know what I just saw?
Who is this guy?
I call myself Podcast because of my podcast.
I have exorcised the demons. This house is clear.
So it's done. It's done.